sedans are coming back into vogue. We've had the Skoda Slavia. We just recently drove the Honda City with the e-hybrid powertrain. And now here's the Volkswagen Virtus. Now, we model is familiar with the way it drives because this is based on the MQB A0 Iron platform, which is shared with the SUVs, the Kushaq and the Taygun, as well as with the Skoda Slavia. But of course, in this video, we are going to dive into the way it drives, the ride, handling, performance. We've got both the variants. We've got the GT with the 1.5 and this has got the 1-liter engine. And of course, we are going to talk about the styling. But let us know what you think about the design of the Virtus. I think these strong Jetta feels that the Virtus gives off looks really striking and I really like it. But let us know what you think in the comments below. And before we go ahead, don't forget to hit that bell icon, give us a thumbs up if you enjoy this video and share this video with like-minded enthusiasts. GT badge differentiates the 1.5 from the 1-liter, but otherwise the styling is the same. Now the Virtus has got a lot of chrome because apparently we Indians, we love chrome. So you get chrome on the grille, chrome on the air dam. The air dam is in gloss black and it gives it a nice strong face. I like the fact that it's got these crisp lines which is very Volkswagen in its design. The wheels, 16-inch wheels, so you don't get 17s. Even on the GT you don't get 17s, you get the same 16-inch wheels, but on the GT the wheels are blacked out, so that's a slight visual differentiator. You get the GT badging on the apron. The GT also gets a blacked out roof, and over on the rear you get this small boot spoiler which is also finished in black. So there are a few visual differentiators, not much, but it's there. There are a few differentiators. You have this Virtus badge on the boot so then you don't miss out what has passed you by. You get the GT badge also. You get the exhaust which is underneath the bumper, so there is no cutout for the exhaust on the bumper. There's an exhaust tip underneath the bumper. The 1.5 has 2 exhaust tips, but both are pointing down. I wish they'd given a nice bumper cutout so you put those 2 exhaust tips out. But yeah, that's about it. The styling is proportionate. It looks really nice and crisp. Only thing I would have liked for the GT to maybe have slightly lower ground clearance, because this ground clearance is very good. It does not touch over anything and it rides really well over all kinds of roads. But maybe for the GT, the sportier version, slightly lower ground clearance, slightly bigger wheels, it would have given it a good stance. But yeah, this is the styling of the Virtus. Start up the GT, it's got a start-stop button and you have this GT badge that comes up on the infotainment to remind you of what you are driving. This of course is the fully loaded trim. Now Volkswagen haven't told us whether the GT will also be available with the manual. Like the Taygun, it is also available with the manual. So what we're driving is the DSG automatic with the 1.5 of course. In the fully loaded trim, you get seat coolers for the front seats, and these seats, they look nice, they feel nice, they are supportive. You get a digital cockpit. Now this is not the full width cockpit, the corners are blanks, but the cockpit, it works well and you can customize it and all of that. You have the typical Volkswagen steering wheel which has got these dimpled edges which feels nice to hold, and the new Volkswagen logo. A regular size sunroof which is nice, and Volkswagen have listened to us, so the roof lining quality has been improved. The quality of the lid of this sunroof cover, that has been improved. So in terms of quality, there really is nothing to complain about. The GT, the interior differentiators are this red panel, the trim. So that is different from the other versions, and you also have this gloss black, so it does look good. You have this red panel on the doors as well, so this really goes well with the red on the exterior. And overall, this is a nice looking cabin with no quality niggles whatsoever, so a really good cabin to spend a lot of time in. It has been adjusted to my driving position and I still have enough of space at the back, so there is a good amount of space at the rear. The seatbelt angle is also well adjusted, though I would have liked a little bit more reclined. You get a central armrest, you have enough headroom, maybe 3 inches of free headroom. You can tuck your feet in under the seats. So overall, it is comfortable, but it is a 4-seater. Like the Taygun, this too is a 4-seater. The middle is... no, this is not that comfortable. We start with the GT, which gets the 1.5 TSI Evo engine. Now the spec is the same, so it makes 148 bhp of power and 250 Newton meters of torque, and it is mated to the 7-speed DSG gearbox. You also get paddle shifters for manual control of the gearbox, but the gearbox is left best to its own devices. It shifts quick, it is fast, and it is responsive. It is everything that a DSG ought to be. In terms of the performance, this is a quick car. 0 to 100 in under 10 seconds is fast, and it is also very torquey and also unhurried. Out here on the highway, you're doing 80, 100 kilometers per hour. The cylinder deactivation light has come on, so now it is running on 2-cylinder mode. So it is also efficient, and it has enough in reserve to make a quick overtake. So when you step on it, it goes down from 7 to 4, so it goes down 3 gears, and there's an immediate turn of speed. So it is an enthusiastic car to drive. The other thing that you notice when you get onto the highways, and Indian highways, especially the ones that are paved in concrete, they are bumpy, and this takes it so well. So all these small ripples in the road, it is more or less flattened out. So it really is very comfortable. Those 16-inch wheels, it could have gone up to 17s, but 17s would have compromised the ride quality. But with these 16-inch wheels, the ride comfort is good, the handling is good. And this is what effortless cruising is all about. No worries about ground clearance and touching over speed breakers, because this ground clearance is almost SUV-like ground clearance. There is plenty of suspension travel, deals with all kinds of roads really well. So well suited to our Indian conditions. In terms of handling, this is a fun car to drive. Of course, because of the ride comfort and because of the suspension travel, there is a fair bit of body roll, and that you notice when you really gun it around corners, where it really leans on the suspension. So the outside wheel, the suspension really opens up, so you can see that movement in the suspension, you can see the body roll, but the body control is good, and that's because of the torsional rigidity of this platform. Because it is stiff, that has allowed engineers to put in softer dampers, so give you good ride, but it does not compromise on handling. So when you go around corners fast, there is plenty of front end bite. In terms of the suspension setup, the 1.5 and the 1 liter are more or less the same. So you get the same kind of cornering performance. I would have liked the 1.5, and this is something that we said with the Slavia as well. I would have liked this 1.5 GT to be a little bit more GT in its makeup. So slightly lower in terms of the ride height, slightly wider tires, maybe go up a size to 17-inch wheels, and that would make it so much more fun to drive. It will also give it such good stance and proportions. This engine is really fast, responsive, and because it is a 4-cylinder engine, it is very refined and smooth. Of course, this is going to be at the top of the range, so this is not going to be very affordable. But what Volkswagen say is that with the Taygun, almost 20% of the demand is for the 1.5. So the 1.5 is seeing strong demand. And for an enthusiast, this is of course the engine to pick. In terms of the steering weight, I think this is slightly too light. At speed, especially once you cross 80, 100, this should have been slightly heavier. So it gives you more of a connected feel with the car, gives you more confidence in the car. At slow speeds though, of course it is brilliant. Light, easy to maneuver. And just the ride qualities. For a sedan, this is superb. The GT, it gets cool seats. So these are the buttons for the front, 2 cool seats. But I have to point out that these seats are leatherette, not leather. And in this heat wave that the entire country is going through, leatherette seats aren't the most comfortable. I honestly would have preferred the fabric seats that they have on the Taygun GT. That is actually more usable and more comfortable in our Indian conditions. This red trimming on the GT's dash and on the doors also looks so nice and classy. Though this only really works with the red, because with other colors, maybe with the black, this red contrasts quite well. I don't know if it is available. And I think the Virtus in black, it would look really cool. The 1 liter is the volume engine. This is the one that has been heavily localized, and this is going to be at least £1.5 lakh, if not 2 lakh rupees cheaper than the 1.5 GT. So you will be seeing more of the 1 liters on the road. And the 1 liter, it also comes in a fully loaded version. So on this, there are seat coolers. You get a little different trim. So instead of the all black of the GT, you get this beige and black. The virtual cockpit is in blue, light blue, unlike the red on the GT. And of course, you get the silver gray dash inserts, unlike the red on the GT. But otherwise, in terms of equipment, the 1 liter also gets everything. So you aren't skipping out on everything. Even the automatic, and this is a torque converter, but the automatic also gets paddle shifters. So everything is there on the 1 liter. The engine, again, same state of tune as it is in the Taygun. So it makes 113 bhp, 175 Newton meters of torque, 6-speed torque converter automatic. And honestly, this does not feel slow. There is no real sense of it lacking in performance. It's only when you compare it with the 1.5 and the effortlessness of the 1.5, the significantly more torque that the 1.5 has, only there you feel the difference. But otherwise, in isolation, this 1 liter engine, it's a peach. So you step on it. The thing is that this automatic gearbox also is not sluggish or anything like that. Of course, it cannot be as quick as the DSG, but in its own right, it is fairly good, fairly responsive. I'm stepping on it. It does have a good turn of speed. The character of this engine is very different from the 1.5. So this is the 3-cylinder engine, so it has a bit of gruffness to it. But that is sort of endearing. It makes it feel like an enthu little cutlet. And when you're cruising, you can't hear anything. So I'm doing 100 kilometers per hour now, just under 2000 RPM. It's silent, refined, easygoing, enough power in reserve for Indian speeds. Overall, very nice. It's only your mind block, right? That you think that, oh, it's only a 1 liter engine. But because of the TSI tech on it, it delivers so much in terms of performance. I've always been a fan of this 1 liter TSI engine. Ever since we first experienced it on the Polo, then the Rapid, the Vento. I've always been a fan of it. And every time we drive this engine, it just reminds me why we love this engine so much. It's crazy to be saying that because we've just stepped in from the 1.5. But seriously, this is a very good engine. In terms of fuel efficiency, the one that I'm driving is actually the least efficient powertrain in this range. The most efficient is the 1 liter with the 6-speed manual. On the ARAI test cycle, it delivered 19.4 kmpl. The one that I'm driving, the 1 liter with the 6-speed torque converter, it delivered 18.12 kmpl. And interestingly, the 1.5 engine with the DSG automatic, that delivers better fuel efficiency than this combo. So that 1.5 with the DSG, that delivers 18.67 kmpl. So if you want performance as well as fuel efficiency, the 1.5, it is the best of all worlds. In terms of the dynamics, the 1 liter, it is as sorted as the 1.5, as much fun and as enjoyable and as rewarding to drive. This has been engineered really well. The Virtus is still a month away. The launch is on the 9th of June. So as of now, we don't know the prices, but the Slavia's prices are a good yardstick to go by. So we are estimating starting at a little bit above 10.5 lakh rupees and topping off at a little under 18 lakh rupees for this, the GT with the 1.5 TSI engine mated to the automatic gearbox. These prices are in the ballpark, and these cars are bound to grow the sedan market, make sedans great again.